Little Red Secret Sauce. Once upon a time in the southwestern desert there lived a coyote. He wasn't very big, he wasn't very small, but he was very, very mean. The mean coyote loved all kinds of yummy foods, but he was much too lazy to cook. He often stole food from his neighbors, but what he enjoyed most was tricking people into giving them the delicious food they had worked hard to prepare. One day the mean coyote was walking down the trail when the delicious smell filled the air.
I smell chili, red onions, green peppers, and black olives. Only one person in the Southwoods makes such a tasty chili.
That person was Little Red. Her spicy dish was her best dish. The coyote stopped Little Red as they passed on the trail.
Where are you going in the desert with a pot of chili?
Asked the coyote. Then he thought, how can I get some?
I'm going to my granny's house.
Little Red told the coyote.
She's sick in bed with a fever. My spicy chili will help her sweat it out.
The mean coyote's mouth watered from the smell. He wanted that spicy chili. He needed that spicy chili. So he came up with a really mean plan. I'll take Granny's place to make sure he would arrive at Granny's house before Little Red. He told her about a shortcut through the desert, but the shortcut was really a long cut. The mean coyote raced to Granny's house. He grabbed the poor sick Granny, shoved her into the tool shed, the door, and drew away the keys. Then he put one of Granny's nightgowns and jumped into her bed.
The chili will be mine,
he cried joyfully.
I hope there is sour cream in the house.
Coyote's plan to trick Little Red might have worked, but he forgot that the tool shed was full of tools. Granny used his tools to out of the shed. When Little Red finally arrived at Granny's house, Granny told her what had happened. Little Red was furious when she heard what the coyote had done to her Granny. She said,
If the mean medium coyote wants something spicy, he's gonna get it.
Then Little Red a whole bottle of her secret hot sauce into the chili pot. Now Little Red's secret sauce was the spiciest hot sauce anyone has ever made. Her hot sauce was so hot that folks needed sunglasses just to read the label. Her sauce was so hot that it could burn a hole in her hole. She had never put more than a dash of her hot sauce in the chili before, but no one has ever been mean to her Granny as the coyote been that day either. Little Red went into the house and took the super spicy chili to the coyote in her bed.
Leave it, dearie, and close the door on your way out,
said the coyote in a high-pitched voice, trying to sound like Granny. Little Red said,
You sound awful, Granny.
Which was true.
It must be my sore throat,
said the coyote.
I thought you have a fever,
said Little Red.
That too,
added the coyote.
And what happened to your feet? They're so big. It's the heat. It makes them swell up like balloons. And what a big nose you have. The better to smell your chili with. And what a big mouth you have. The better to eat your chili with. Well, I hope you have a big appetite,
said Little Red as she spooned up a mouthful of her super spicy chili. The medium coyote, he thought of something.
Shouldn't you heat it up first?
He asked.
Oh, I think you will find it quite hot,
said Little Red with her sweetest smile. The coyote grabbed a spoon and the pot of chili. He was too greedy and selfish to ask Little Red if she wanted any. Even though he was a coyote, he ate like a pig and wolfed down his food. The hot sauce kicked in. The coyote's eyeballs jumped out of his head and the coyote jumped out of bed.
Ooh, bit my tongue,
cried the coyote.
Wawa, I need Wawa. Ha,
said Little Red. Granny came rushing into the room and translated.
You blew my tongue. I need water. I need water. Yes,
cried the coyote.
Wawa, peace.
Being good host, Granny and Little Red took the medium coyote outside and gave him water. In fact, they gave him a lot of water. They on him. The coyote dripped water from his head to his toes.
I hope you will think twice before trying to trick people to steal their food again,
said Little Red.
You owe me no necking,
added Granny. The coyote, his mouth still on fire from eating all that super spicy chili, tried to rub it off. He slipped and slid through the mud. He landed in a puddle with a big splash. The only thing he could eat were now mud pies, but at least they were cold. As for Granny, she didn't get to eat any of Little Red's famous chili that day. But she felt so much better after seeing what happened to the medium coyote. Laughter is really the best medicine.
Once upon a time, there was a chef who had 3 sons. The chef was known far and wide for his dazzling skill at preparing cookie steak, fine Japanese beef, famous for its delicious flavor and tenderness. The chef sliced and diced, flipped and flung. He tossed his spatulas and juggled his knives. He seasoned the steak perfectly and concocted delicious sauces. He became known as the Kobe King. The Kobe King owned a restaurant in San Francisco for many years. It was the most popular restaurant in the city. When his sons were grown, they worked alongside their father in the kitchen, slicing, dicing, flipping, and flinging. But then the restaurant began getting bad reviews. People started to say the recipes were old, stale, and boring. A big restaurant competition was coming up. Restaurants from all over the city would compete.
If we win,
said the Kobe King,
our restaurant reputation will be restored.
But the Kobe King knew that to win, they would need new, fresh recipes, and he knew how to get them. The Kobe King opened an ancient box that had been handed down from his ancestors. From the box, he pulled 3 pairs of chopsticks. He gave 1 pair to each of his sons.
These chopsticks have magic,
he told them.
Throw them out into the city. They will lead you to somebody who will save us all.
Only 1 pair of chopsticks, and the Kobe King did not know which one would lead to someone with great cooking skills. The Kobe King was certain this person would help create the new fresh recipes that would win the contest. The two older sons threw their chopsticks. One pair landed beside a man, the other beside a woman. Enchanted by the chopsticks' magic, both agreed to return to the restaurant and cook for the Kobe King. The youngest son, Sanji, wanted to please his father. He threw his chopsticks as hard as he could. They landed in a pond outside the city, in the mouth of a frog. Sanji took back the chopsticks and threw them again and again. Each time they landed in the frog's mouth. Finally, in despair, he gathered up the frog and brought it home.
I named him Dory,
He told his family. His brothers could only laugh.
You left it as magic.
They told him.
A frog?
The Kobe King cried.
I can't have a frog in my kitchen.
Still, he knew not to question the magic of the chopsticks, so he told his sons that one of these three possessed great cooking skills, and he needed to find out who it was. Then he gave the three, including Midori, cooking tasks to complete.
Keep Midori hidden.
He told Sanji.
No one can know that a frog is preparing our food.
Later, the three, including Midori, presented their newly created dishes to the Kobe King. He tasted one dish and then another. From the two people, they were both awful. Not that those two were surprised.
I'm a doctor,
said the woman.
not a chef.
Uh,
I'm a painter.
said the man.
If you want a mural, I'm your guy.
Then the father tasted Midori's dish.
I can barely believe my taste buds.
Cried the Kobe King.
This is new, fresh, and delicious.
He smiled at the frog.
Your cooking will help us win the contest.
Sanji stunned.
Midori,
Sanji smiled with pride.
my frog is the one with great cooking skills.
The day of the competition arrived. The Kobe King and his sons carried the food. The frog stayed hidden as it sliced and diced, flipped and flung. At last, the judges sampled Midori's dish.
We have tasted fine food,
They said.
but none is as fine as this. We declare the Kobe King the winner.
The reputation of our restaurant is restored.
Cried the Kobe King. He clasped his hands over his chest in delight. The two older sons danced round and round. So did the doctor and the painter. Sanji was so happy that he hugged Midori close as he too spun round and round. Then he lifted the frog to his face and kissed it. Before Sanji knew what was happening, Midori the frog turned into a young woman. Sanji's mouth dropped open.
How could this be?
She smiled.
I was attending chef school. Another jealous student put a spell on me. I was to live out my days as a frog. Your kiss has broken the spell.
I named you Midori from the lovely green color. What is your real name?
Esmeralda.
She smiled again.
It means emerald in Spanish. Emeralds, too, are green.
The two of them lived happily ever after. Slicing and dicing, flipping and flinging, tossing and juggling in the Kobe King's kitchen. And when the Kobe King retired, a newly painted mural appeared outside the most popular restaurant in San Francisco. In lovely green letters, it read, Esmeralda's.
Long ago, 5 brothers in China lived a life. The only way to tell them apart was by their abilities. First brother was very strong. Second brother could fly. Third brother could heal up in bed. Fourth brother had a hard body. Brother could hold his breath. All somebody cried, his tears turned into a river. One day, fifth brother picked a strange apple from a strange garden. The soldier shouted,
Stop! This is the garden of the magistrate.
The magistrate locked the fifth brother in a gun.
Not do anything, stay free.
Fifth brother yelled. The magistrate said,
I'll let you go if you get the treasure for Fire Island.
Fire Island was in the middle of the lake. The dragon guarded the treasure. Stealing could seem impossible. Still, fifth brother said he would try. Mark, fifth brother was scared. He didn't cry. He knew what would happen. He whispered,
Help me.
far away. Fifth brother put a hand to his ear.
Fifth brother is in trouble!
The brothers decided to go help fifth brother get the treasure. Second brother used his ability to fly the brothers to Fire Island. They hid. Then second brother flew to the dungeon and told fifth brother their plan for a window. And in the morning, the magistrate brought fifth brother to the lake. Fifth brother dove into the water and held his breath. Fourth brother came out of his hiding place at Fire Island. He waved at the magistrate so he would think he was fifth brother. And fourth brother found the dragon and blew a stream of fire at him. Nothing happened because of his hard body. Fourth brother laughed and held the dragon on the face. Then the dragon became tired. Then fourth brother hid. Next, first brother jumped out. He was so strong that he lifted the dragon and tossed it far away. Then first brother took the treasure. First brother dove into the lake and handed the treasure to fifth brother. Fifth brother has been holding his breath all along. Fifth brother came out of the water and gave the treasure to the magistrate.
Let me go.
He demanded. The magistrate was greedy.
First, you have amazing powers. You must stay with me forever.
Fifth brother started to cry. His first tear became a puddle. His second tear turned into a pond. Soon, the river swept the magistrate away. Once the land dried up, the brothers returned home. Next day, his brother said he was going on a walk. He promised never to eat from a strange garden again.
The moral of the story is don't steal.
One day, Leopard went out hunting. He came upon Ram's house. Leopard was a great hunter, but he had never seen Ram in his life. Leopard was a little afraid of him. He went to Ram and said meekly,
Good day, friend. Who might you be?
I am Ram, said Ram in a gruff voice.
Who are you?
I'm only Leopard.
Said Leopard softly. Leopard was so scared he ran straight home. As soon as Leopard got home, he went to Jackal. Jackal's house was close by.
I have such a friend.
Panted Leopard.
I saw such a fierce fellow. He had a large head, terrible hooks, and a rough voice. He said his name was Flynn.
How foolish you are, Jackal laughed. Ram cannot hurt a flea, and his meat is juicy and sweet. I thought you were a hunter, Tom. We shall go and eat him. Leopard was still afraid. He wanted to seem brave, so he said he would go. The next day, Jackal tied Leopard to his leg with a string. This way, Leopard could not run away. Ram saw the two friends as they came to the top of the hill. Ram ran into his house.
Wife, what shall we do?
He asked.
Jackal and Leopard are both after us.
Have no fear,
said his wife.
take our child in your arms and go outside. Pinchers to make her cry, as if he was hungry.
Ram took the child and did as he was told. He stepped outside just as Leopard and Jackal arrived. As soon as Leopard saw Ram, he grew afraid. He pulled back, but Jackal jerked the string. Come on, he said. He cannot hurt you. Ram saw Leopard's fear and he pinched the child. The child began to cry, and Ram said in a rough voice,
Jackal, you have done well. You brought us the leopard to eat. You are just in time. My child is kind for food.
These words were more than Leopard could stand. He leaped away and began to run, dragging Jackal with him. Leopard ran up and down hills, through bushes, and under rocks. He did not look back until poor Jackal was bruised from head to toe.
The moral is, appearances can be deceptive. Long ago, in the time before there were people, a dog was found sleeping in the middle of a dark forest. It was sleeping on its side, with its legs spread in front of it. It was happy. It was the first dog ever to live on the earth. Most of the time, the dog just slept. The dog sleeping all day wasn't a problem, but it became a problem when a monkey saw it lying there. The monkey was a nice enough animal, but it caused more than its share of trouble. The monkey jumped from a tree to the ground. It looked at the dog from the front and then from the back. The monkey couldn't make head or tails of this creature. So the monkey climbed into a tree and hung upside down to see if the dog looked different from that angle. The dog looked just the same upside down. The monkey couldn't figure out what the dog was. Remember that this was the very first dog on Earth. No one had ever seen a dog before. The monkey wanted to tell the other animals what it had found. Monkeys, as I'm sure you know, have big mouths. Many animals came to see what the monkey had found.
So,
The monkey began.
this is the new creature I have found. Have any of you ever seen one before?
An elephant bent its head way down and looked at the dog.
Well,
Said the elephant, curling its trunk as it spoke.
it's not an elephant. Thanks a lot.
Said monkey.
You aren't being very helpful.
Next in line was a gentle okapi. It took a good look at the sleeping dog. In a voice the others could barely hear, the okapi said,
Sorry, I can't help you. It's not an okapi. I'm sure it's not a giraffe.
Now it was the pangolin's turn. Its body was covered with rough scales. The pangolin was very slow. If the pangolin had any thoughts about the dog, no one would hear them. The pangolin looked at the sleeping dog for a very long time. Then it rocked back and forth, settled to the ground, and fell asleep without saying a word. The monkey asked every animal to take a turn. They each looked at the sleeping dog. Not one of them knew what it was or whose family it belonged to. A tortoise was sitting quietly in a tree. No one was sure how it had gotten up there, but that is another story. The tortoise was very smart and was also very old. It knew what the dog was. In fact, it knew just about everything there was to know.
Yes, I think so. Have to take that?
The tortoise asked the monkey. The monkey replied,
Yes, I think so. We cannot decide whose family this creature is from.
Tortoise replied,
If you ask me the family name of dinner, dog is the perfect name.
Hearing its name spoken, the dog woke up. It was not happy to be awake. It saw all the other animals staring at it.
Who was mean enough to wake me up?
The dog asked. It wasn't feeling very polite. The dog bared its big pointed teeth and growled. It barked and barked. All the animals scattered. They were afraid that the dog wanted to eat them. The tortoise was safe in its tree, since dogs can't climb trees.
You can get me, but from now on, all the animals should run from you, and you will chase them,
said the tortoise, laughing as it tucked its head into its shell. Even today, a dog will chase anything it sees, unless, of course, it is sleeping. Dogs still like to sleep too. That night, Monkey sang a new song.
So now we all know why you dog lie.
On that day, though the animals had already made the mistake of waking up the sleeping dog, but one lesson was learned, and it has been passed down over time. Even today, it is best to let a sleeping dog lie.